Are you ready for these crowd-sized numbers at the Fight the Oligarch tour by Senator Bernie Sanders and AOC? So last night, over 1,400 people in Tempe, Arizona. Today in Greeley, Colorado, about 11,300 people in a city that has a population of 108,000. That's where they started earlier in the day. And then AOC and Bernie Sanders were in Denver, where they had over 34,000 people. They are traveling the country to purplish and red areas. For example, in Greeley, Colorado, there were no town halls being held by their MAGA Republican Congress member, Gabe Evans. So AOC and Bernie Sanders showed up. And again, this entire city has 108,000. You had basically one-tenth of the entire city right there or more. Here's what AOC wrote. Today, we're in Greeley, Colorado, where GOP Congress member Gabe Evans refused to hold a town hall. So we came instead to fill the gap. Representative Evans, your constituents say hi. There's a couple of thousand more outside too. They have some questions about your cuts to veterans care. Look at this crowd. Let's play the clip. As Senator Bernie Sanders says, Greeley has a population of 108,000. 11,300 of those Coloradans joined our town hall this afternoon. Now on to Denver. By the way, this was last night. Thank you to the 15,000, I said 14,000, 15,000 people who came out in Tempe, Arizona for our Fight the Oligarchy tour. In fact, not only was the arena filled, but the overflow crowd was also at capacity. Americans will not hand their democracy over to authoritarianism. Let me show you the crowd right now outside in Denver for the later speech that AOC and Bernie Sanders gave. About 34,000 people showed up for this. Play this clip.
I understand on stage with y'all. This is the last song. Oh, they say turn it up a little bit.
And folks, we're not in an election year, but we are in a pissed off year as Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the oligarchs are destroying our government, getting rid of Medicaid, trying to get rid of Social Security, as Trump and Musk and their billionaire oligarchs call Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme ever, as they cruelly fire veterans and dismantle the federal government. This is a pissed off year where we fight the oligarchy, and AOC and Bernie Sanders are showing the way. I want to show you right here some of these clips of what I think are the highlights from Bernie Sanders and AOC's speech. Let's take a look right now. Play this first clip of Senator Bernie Sanders. Let's play it.
So the point that Alexandria made a few minutes ago is exactly the right point. And that is what the right wing wants us to do is to turn on each other. They want to divide us up by the color of our skin, or where we were born, or what our religion is, or what our sexual orientation is. That's how they win. They divide us up. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but I do know that 99% is a hell of a bigger number than 1%. And I do know that if we stand together, we are the vast majority of people, we can defeat Trumpism. We can create a political movement so that we have a government and economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%.
Here's another clip right here from Senator Bernie Sanders' speech when he goes, you know who was sitting behind him? The billionaire oligarchs. Let's play the clip.
And we're not going to let a handful of billionaires run the government. You know, a few years ago, when I used the word oligarchy, people didn't know what I was talking about. Well, they know what I'm talking about now. You got to be dumb, blind, and deaf not to see what's going on. Trump gets inaugurated, and I had the unusual position, I don't know how it happened, I got right on the front row. So there I was watching the scene. Right behind Trump were the three wealthiest people in the country: Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg. But that's not enough. Behind them were 13 other billionaires who Trump had nominated to run major government agencies.
Here is AOC from her speech today in Colorado. Let's play it.
Our goal here today is to commit to building the kind of country we all deserve. So I'm going to take another second here. And I want each of you to turn to the people around you and get a good look. And I want you to greet someone you don't know. And this is awesome. And I think I don't want to interrupt. But it's because if I can offer one assignment today, before we all depart here, it's to leave this place connected to a new person you didn't know coming into this.
Here's Bernie Sanders talking about how Donald Trump continued to, always just whine, and he sues ABC and CBS. He goes, he loves when the media fawns on him, but how pathetic and weak are you when you can't accept criticism? Play the clip.
You have a president who is suing ABC and CBS and Meta and the Des Moines Register. He is threatening to investigate PBS and NPR. He loves media that fawns on him, that tells him how great he is. Well, I got news to you, Mr. President. What democracy is about is people discussing issues, debating issues, and disagreeing with you. And if you can't take the criticism, get the hell out of politics.
Here, Bernie Sanders says, shut off Fox, and why don't you try to listen and read the Constitution for once? Play this clip.
So the message today is, yes, here in Colorado, in Vermont, in New York, all over this country. Hey, Mr. Trump, people fought and died to create a democratic society. You're not going to take it away from us. Hey, Mr. President, turn off Fox TV and take a few moments to read the Constitution of the United States.
Next up, Senator Sanders attacks Donald Trump for Trump's attacks on Ukraine. Let's play it.
For the first time in the 250-year history of this country, we have a president of the United States who is aligning himself with a horrible dictatorship in Russia. We have a president who lies all of the time, and one of his worst lies was that he says Ukraine started that war. Well, Mr. President, Russia and Putin started that war. And we're not going to ally ourselves with dictatorships because we believe in democracy.
Next, AOC talks about how the MAGA Republicans in Colorado are cutting people's Medicare, cutting VA services, firing veterans. Play this clip.
Because you know which Coloradans did vote to gut Medicaid and jack up healthcare costs? Every single Republican representative from Colorado and the United States. Don't you worry, I was just at Gabe Evans' district earlier today, and a lot of his 11,000 of his constituents would like a word with him. this means.
I thought this was a great moment, too, in the speech by AOC, where she goes, you know, the clever thing about what Trump does is he tries to make workers and people feel like they're just one step away from being invited to Mar-a-Lago and to hang out at the Billionaires Club, while in reality, the MAGAs hate the workers and they only support the billionaires. Play this clip.
And we can see this clear as day. He has handed the keys of the federal government to Elon Musk. Selling off our country for parts to the richest people on the planet. And in exchange, those oligarchs will bankroll his campaigns and those of his allies. They scratch his back, he scratches theirs, and all of us are left behind. But the clever thing, I will say, the clever thing of what Donald Trump and what the right tries to do is make working people like you and me feel like we're just one step away from being inside that club. That maybe one day we will be a billionaire too. Any billionaires here? I didn't think so. Yeah. But here's the thing. The spoils of that kind of corruption and billions of dollars are not earned. They are stolen. Elon and Trump are doing to our health care, our veterans benefits, and Social Security. They are slashing the programs that we have spent a lifetime paying into. By the way, not them, because they haven't paid their fair share in taxes in years.
Here, AOC says we always got to stand with marginalized communities, and we don't bully the LGBTQ community. We don't alienate them, isolate them. We stand up for our fellow Americans. I love this line. Let's play this clip.
Because here everyone is valued. But I will say this. To those leaders on either side of the aisle who are willing to put their fellow Americans down so that they can get ahead or feel better about themselves, they may best find a home somewhere else. And if you're an LGBT kid or a family, we can't throw you under the bus in order to win an election. In this house, we stand together because here we know that together, without exception, is the only way that we can win. So I hope that you...
Then Senator Sanders talks about the addiction that America billionaires have to greed, how they want to take from workers. Play this clip.
Now, you know, in Colorado and Vermont, all over, we have a serious problem with people who are addicted, right? We got a serious drug problem. We got an alcohol problem. We got tobacco problems. We have people who are addicted to one thing or another. But I will tell you, what I think the worst addiction in this country is, the most dangerous, and that is the greed of the oligarchs. You know, everybody wants to do well. We all want to make money. We all want to live comfortably. That's natural. That's right. But these guys already have billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions. How much money do you need? And right now, what these oligarchs are doing is they're going after Social Security. They're going after Medicaid. They are trying to destroy the Veterans Administration. Veterans put their lives on the line to defend this country.
And here Senator Sanders talks about that he will bring legislation to the floor very shortly to say no more money to Netanyahu. Let's play the clip.
But it is not just Russia. Trump wants to continue the horrific Biden policy of giving more money to Netanyahu to destroy the Palestinian people. we are going to bring legislation to the floor very shortly, which says not a nickel more for Netanyahu.
There you have it, folks. I could show you a lot more clips, but I think you get the point. We stream this live, by the way. We're always going to cover the Senator Sanders AOC events live here on the MeidasTouch Network, making that our priority now that we have this platform. Please hit subscribe and help us get to 5 million subscribers, and thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.